Hi, I'm Rick at Rick Turns, and today's video is Rick Turns is ready! Cut! Cut! Rick Turns is ready! Okay, you ready? Rick Turns is ready! Yay! About 5 months ago, I moved from Beaufort, Georgia, which is just outside of Atlanta, to Rockville, Maryland, which is just north of Washington, D.C. And prices and houses are a lot more expensive up here. I ended up with a pretty decent house on a very small lot. I wanted to build a workshop in the backyard, but that ain't gonna work. It's just too small. So pretty much the only option left was to convert my 2-car garage into a half-a-car garage and a wood turning workshop, and that's what this is today. How I managed to screw up a garage and turn it into a workshop. But it wasn't all that easy. Let me show you. This is going to be a wood turning workshop. Not having a workshop has been a royal pain. You can see, or actually you can't see from this view, everything from my workshop piled in the back of the garage. Fortunately, the garage in this house is a little extra long. Today, I'm going to be building a stud wall for part of the garage, not all of it, right here. Now, as the gods would have it, the electrical for this house is on the complete other side of the house. I've got an electrician coming in a couple of days, and he is going to run I think a number 6 wire it is, all the way from the other side of the house through the roof of the ceiling of the finished basement, and put a, put a sub panel right here. That sub panel is going to have about a 60 amp capacity. Before the electrician gets here, which is actually not for a few days, I'm going to take all this junk off this wall. I'm going to clear out this corner completely, and I'm going to build a stud wall out of 2x4 to put right in here. Oh man, that was great. This one. Getting close. And that's it. Yeah, it's in there pretty snug. Okay. Only got about 5 times that much to go. Got one more wall section done. All my stud walls are in place. Just to reiterate, they're really there so that I'll have something to put insulation on, something to put wiring through, and something to put pegboard on. I could have gone with 2x2s or even 1x2, but that wouldn't have done for running the wiring through it. And I didn't want to fool around with conduit and running it on the surface. So I've got my panel in, my sub panel, run off of the main panel of the house, all the way on the other side of the house. I haven't put in any circuits yet, And for today, I'm going to be putting in the lights. The lights are going to be hung from the ceiling, and I've got 12 LED lights. I have 5 of my 12 lights installed. I only have 4 of them turned on at the moment. I don't have any wiring up to plug the lights in yet, but I just ran an extension cord over here so I can see how bright they're going to be. Finally, it's electrical time. I've got 10 lights hung up with their cords falling down. And I am going to run a line of outlets, 15 amp outlets, across the top of the garage there. That's what I'm going to be doing now. This will be the first electrical work I'm doing on my new panel, sub panel. So, now this is my sub panel. There's a 60 amp service to it from the main panel in the house. I've thrown that breaker so that this is not live, but just going to test anyway. So that's okay. This is my 15 amp tandem breaker right here. You can see it's got the 2 little switches, both marked 15. And I got a tandem 20 amp. So I'm definitely going to have 2 20 amp circuits at 110 volts. And those are for most of my power tools. And I'm going to have 1 220 volt circuit for my Powermatic lathe, and that's what this one is. It's a double slot, and you can see how wide it is. So today, I'm going to be working on my 15 amp. This is square D, incidentally, and I'm going to plug this into the first connector right there, which is right there, and they snap right in. Very easy to do. Which way is off here? On, off. I think down is off. Same thing with my tandem 20 amp. Put it in right there, snap it in. And then my double pole 220 volt is going to snap in right here. First thing I'm going to do, run my 14-2 wire up through here and over that away. Got to put a junction box over that away because I need a switch, light switch over there. And then the junction box is going to connect the light switch to the power, run the wire straight across the garage there. Sounds easy, right? You bet. Okay, this is my 5th outlet for this strip of 10 lights. And I'm actually going to continue this on over that away. But right now, there is so much junk towards the front of the garage where I've moved everything, I can't get in there to work. So I got 2 lights, I'm going to put those up in later. I'll wire them in here later too. It's the next day. I finished all the wiring up yesterday except for the electrical panel. So now I've got to connect the wire to all the outlets that I just put in to the breaker. Get that in there like this. All right, tight, tight, tight. Gonna go downstairs to the main breaker box, throw the switch, see what happens. I've thrown the switch in the main breaker box. Gonna check my voltage. So we're hot now. All right, I've got all the breakers turned off. Gonna turn on the breaker that I just connected. Now, time to turn on the light. I'm gonna be so bummed out if nothing happens. Here we go. Let there be light. Wow, it really brightens up this space. Got a feeling I'm not going to need the extra lamps that I've been using for video work. From this point on, it's going to be lather, rinse, and repeat. I'm going to be running probably my 220 volt line next. And it's going to go around through these studs here right over to there. And then I'll be running 2 circuits of 110, 20 amp. One about this level, one about this level. Yes, it's insulation time. So I bought 3 bags of insulation bats from Home Depot and started on this yesterday. Long sleeves, long pants. I'm even going to wear a dust mask. I'm not sure if that's needed for the fiberglass insulation, but it can't hurt. And finally, gloves. Now these bats here are 93 inches long, and that, of course, is exactly how high my openings are. So, and it goes snug up against the top and the sides. Haha, it's pegboard time. Okay, this is where you really find out, did you get the studs exactly true? So far the answer has been, eh. Now I'm going to put the drywall up with these little washer head screws, I think is what they call them, and my impact driver. Much more fun than trying to use nails and hitting my fingers. So, now what I got to do, I'm going to sort of temporarily put the sort of temporarily put the pegboard up, just fasten it at the top with a couple of screws, because I need to put in or cut in an opening for the outlets, the outlet boxes. So these little things, they have this little bent wire up at the top, and it's spring driven, so you can put it in. And the little prong here goes right in here, and you just put it in like this, the top prong and the bottom one. The same here. Now they're in place. I'm going to put the pegboard up there, secure it at the top, locate it with this piece, and then I'm going to make a cut right around there after I mark it. As I was saying before my battery gave out, attached up at the top, nowhere else so far, still loose, you can see, just in case I have to take the pegboard down. I hope not. I know the outlet box is somewhere around in here, and here's my matching piece. There's a stud. Oh, there it is right there. Okay, you saw how it clicked into place like that. That's really pretty cool. So, because this is a double box back there, I put in 2 of the little internal magnets. I'm going to switch over here and mark it there. So, if this were the best of all possible worlds, that would be perfect. Now, I bought this little box especially for this purpose. Putting it right there, centering it, getting it on both of those lines, and up a little bit, and right on there. That is the cut that I need to make. And let me see, I think it's time. Apparently it's not time. Perhaps I should plug in my extension cord. This little tool is great. It's a little faster than using the wire stripper like this, although I have found occasionally that it misfires and doesn't pull the sheathing off, in which case it's a pain. What I actually want to show here is the use of these Wago fasteners. These are great. So much easier than using wire nuts. I've got a little tester tool. If the light lights up, we're getting power. Yep. 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 And yep. Victory! Okay, I'm going to test all the other outlets and then go on to the next step, and I'm getting pretty close to having a functional wood turning shop again. All the building is done. Now, it's time to set up shop. And as you can see, everything scattered all over the place. And the lathe, bandsaw, drill press, grinder. These are without a doubt the heaviest items that I have to move, and then everything else over there, and boxes, many, many boxes has to be unpacked and hung up on the pegboard, which means I have to find the pegboard hooks somewhere in all those boxes. All right, it's time to get this sucker moved up. It is very heavy, and I'm not very strong. I tried lifting it up there myself, couldn't make it. So what I've got here is a block and tackle. I forget exactly how much it's supposed to lift, but I think the rope is rated at 4,000 pounds, so I'm okay there. And we've got 4 sheaves here on the block and tackle. All right, my first block and tackle experience. Well, really thought it would make it a lot easier than that to lift it in place. Apparently not. That thing's kind of loose now. Got to put the clamp back in place, but that'll be easy. And my workshop is almost done. Well, it's not my dream workshop, but it's going to have to do for a number of years. There are some advantages, though, to living outside of Washington, D.C. Take a look at the view outside my garage door. Yeah, pretty awesome, right? Next time, next video, it's going to be a real wood turning video, and real wood turning videos from now on. See you next video.